Two brothers are on a mission to risk everything to move their family cabin.
Every time I see it, there's no way I won't think about that.
Will their precious home and crew survive a slippery schlep across an icy lake?
I'm nervous.
Over hellish hills?
Worst case scenario, we wreck everything.
And through blinding blizzards?
It's a disaster.
This icy roller coaster ride is nothing short of one massive move.
They're leaning so
Brothers
far
Sean and Wayne Bodenstab run a busy winter sports resort in Wapati Valley, Saskatchewan. During the holidays, they like to kick back and relax at their family's lakeside cabin in Kippabeskow. This luxury, three-story wood-framed home was built for their parents in 1986. It holds a special place in their hearts.
My parents were going to retire at the lake, and unfortunately my dad passed away before that day ever came.
Sean and Wayne lost their father in 2010, and this cabin is full of memories.
Every time I see it, there's no way I won't think about that. So there's definitely a sentimental attachment.
With a busy resort to run, Sean and Wayne don't have time to look after the cabin, let alone enjoy it with all their family. So they make the bold decision to move it to the resort. It sounds crazy to move a 70-ton house, but it's the only way the brothers and their families will ever get to use their cherished family home. This move isn't going to be cheap. It'll set Sean and Wayne back $20,000. Building the new foundations will be another $10,000, bringing the total cost to $30,000. But to them, it's a price worth paying.
Yeah, I think my dad would probably sitting down with us right now, and he'd be impressed.
Especially as this cabin is heavy, weighing in at 70 tons of solid spruce. Shifting at 50 miles from Kippabeskow, across the Canadian wilderness to the Brothers Ski Resort in Wapati Valley will be a dangerous challenge. And right at the start is one big, treacherous obstacle. To reach the road north, the house must first get around a vast lake. For a job this big, only the province's leading house movers will do, Carrie and Jim Neufeld.
It's about 1,100 square feet per floor, and the weight is quite a bit more than a bungalow home. We're looking at about 140,000 pounds, 130,000 pounds for the structure.
The route around the lake is blocked by trees. These are protected and cannot be cut down. So the team must haul the house across the lake itself, which right now is like a skating rink. The ice on the lake is frozen 2 feet thick. But that's not deep enough to support the 70-ton house. So the team's first task is to build a 2-mile reinforced ice road across the lake. They'll repeatedly flood a path with water, leaving it to freeze each night. Layer by layer, the ice will thicken up. The ice needs to be well over 4 feet deep to support the hefty house. That's a lot of ice they've got to make. To build this icy highway, the crew call in Gary Kozar, the best ice road builder this side of Saskatchewan.
This is fairly late in the year to be looking to make ice roads.
Gary drills holes in the ice at 60-foot intervals across the lake. He lowers in pumps to channel the water onto the ice to flood the roadway.
It's a matter of judgment. You don't want to put on too much. You want to put it on in thin layers, a maximum of 1 inch to 2 inches. And you keep repeating this day after day after day.
While the ice road starts to take shape, Carrie's foreman Jim prepares to haul the house off its footings and load it onto the truck.
Okay, here we go.
And straight across, you would do the same thing?
That's the beam.
The house sits high on the riverbank, 6 feet above the ice road. To load it onto the trucks, the team must roll the house along 2 steel beams over the edge of the riverbank. They must leapfrog roller skates underneath the house until it reaches the ice road. Only when the house clears the bank can they load it onto wheels, hook up the truck, and get rolling across the ice.
The cold is really hard on all the equipment, and the hydraulics, it just doesn't respond the way you want it to, so everything seems to take about twice as long.
It's minus 30. The steel roller skates are frozen solid.
Okay, let's try it.
The house slowly rolls over the ice.
There's a lot of weight, so you can hear the rollers. There's some stress on them.
Suspended over the lake, one slip now, and it could plunge into the ice. With wheels under the rear and a truck hooked to the front, the cabin's epic journey is set to begin.
There's been a few sleepless nights when this thing could derail real quick and this move is done, like it's over.
Coming up, can the ice road take the strain of Wayne and Sean's beloved family home?
The minor cracking, I'm nervous.
Or will it plummet into the icy abyss? It's 7 a.m. in rural Saskatchewan. And after successfully rolling this 70-ton, 3-story summer house onto the ice, Carrie's crew hope to haul it to Sean and Wayne's ski resort 50 miles away before sunset. Obstacle 1, the lake. Iceman Gary checks if his 2-mile frozen road will hold up.
Just arrived on site. I'm going to make my final inspection of the ice. Here we have just a smidgen over 44 inches of ice. Some minor cracking. I'm nervous.
The ice road is not quite 4 feet thick. The weight of the house and the truck combined is so much that if they travel across the ice in close proximity, the road could give way. So, to spread out the load, Carrie's crew will separate the truck from the house and connect them with a 100-foot-long steel cable. This way, he'll slowly tow the house across the lake to reduce the strain on the ice road.
I'm going to try to...
Carrie briefs his crew on the dangers ahead on the first stage of this 50-mile move.
I'm just going to touch a few things on safety in case a dolly drops through the ice. We're going to keep that load moving. If that happens, Jim, I'm going to wave you and you're just going to put full throttle.
In other words, if the ice cracks, floor the gas, boys, or risk sinking to the bottom of the lake.
There's a lot at risk. I mean, we stand a lot to lose here, but I don't know if we can do anything more.
Jim has drawn the short straw and is driving the lead truck.
Okay, let's go!
Stay 5 feet on that side of those holes.
Keep in mind that ice is the strongest under its first load. After that, it starts getting weak.
Between them and the bottom of the lake lies 30 feet of murky water.
I'm going to keep my speed here at 5 kilometers per hour. Come on. Come on, come on. Come on. The important part is we got to make it home to her. My 4-year-old daughter just turned 4 last week. So that's the important part. Safety first, you betcha. That truck in the back could be in danger.
The speed Jim drives across the ice road is critical. Motor too slowly. The ice could sag and crack around the house. Drive too fast. A wave of water could form underneath the ice, rising up to crack the surface. So Jim must keep on trucking at a steady 5 kilometers per hour, while the crew listen for telltale cracking sounds.
You just got to keep it moving. As soon as you stop the load, the ice loses its strength and it'll go down, and of course surface water, and that's a disaster.
They crawl across the lake with trepidation, and it's not long before they hit a major glitch.
Here's a crack right here. See?
The truck is close to the cracks.
Right here.
If they move too fast, the ice could give way.
Just maintain your speed. Okay. About another 40 feet. Looking good, looking good. Keep her coming. Keep her coming. That's good there, Jim. Let's chalk that load.
Sean and Wayne can't believe it. Their home reaches the other side of the bank in one piece. But they can't relax yet. There are bigger hurdles to come.
I don't think it could have went any better. I was so happy.
Gary's not taking much credit on this project for himself, so I'll give him some credit.
Thanks, Gary.
Gary, come on.
All done.
Coming up, can the team drag the house up an icy hill without it skidding back down into the frozen lake?
Worst case scenario, we wreck everything.
In Saskatchewan, the move crew have hauled Sean and Wayne's tall timber cabin across a frozen lake. Now they have an even bigger challenge, an icy mountain to climb. 12 p.m. Kerry's crew must drive it up a steep hill to reach the road north.
This hill is our next hurdle. It's the only thing that I'm really concerned about, stress on the house.
The hill is extremely steep and very tricky for a heavy house to climb. It could put a lot of pressure on the cabin's rear walls, with catastrophic results, collapsing into matchwood. To reduce the strain on the back of the house, Kerry plans to jack up the rear wheels to keep the load as level as possible. Wooden wedges will keep the building extra steady as it makes its ascent.
Okay, here we go.
With the house level, the tug of war begins to winch it up the hill.
All right, let's pull it ahead. If the line breaks or something like that, I mean, there's no way our truck will hold it. It's going to slide back down. Worst case scenario, we wreck everything.
Halfway up the hill, the house starts slipping. This is their worst nightmare.
There's only one place for it to go, and that's back down onto the lake.
They need more winching power, and fast. So they rig a third truck to the front of the convoy.
I'm luckiest guy in the world. I got the best staff possible. They're amazing. You guys see it.
if things continue to go the way that they are, I think we're in great shape. But Mother Nature can play some crazy tricks on us.
2 p.m. They've made it up the hill, but now have 48 miles of narrow country roads, all before nightfall. 4 p.m. The team face yet another challenge. Low-slung power lines. The house may be too tall to squeeze underneath.
What we're doing here now is just getting a confirmed height on the building. We think it may be taller than what we had anticipated, so it's a pretty big deal.
Well, we have to make sure we have enough clearance between the building and our energized lines. If we're too close, it could flash across onto the building and damage equipment and have an outage.
The electricians have bad news for Kerry's crew.
We're 11-9.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll phone transmission.
The only way to drive down this road is to get the electricians to raise the cables. Every single one. It's stop-start, stop-start, until the mother of all power cables brings this move to yet another halt.
It supplies a huge amount of customers. It's part of the main grid, 138,000 volt line that we need to be at least 6 feet away from. If you get closer than, I think, 6 feet, the building has a metal roof, so it'll act like a spark plug and it'll just drive right through the house and be a catastrophe.
So, how are we doing?
Guys isolating the power line right now. He's ready to roll. They want you to send trucks ahead to control traffic, and you can start going that way.
Okay, I'll get in the truck, I'll let them know, and away we go.
It takes 2 freezing hours to squeeze under the line. And just as they get back on the straight and narrow, Mother Nature has another surprise for them, a blizzard. The thick fog and freezing snow makes the road too treacherous.
This is a typical January day. It's too bad it's March.
The team are forced to pull over for the night.
There's just too much ice. We're not going to jeopardize the house and take it down an icy hill like this, though.
Coming up, will the move team fall at the final hurdle? As the trees edge closer, it could be curtains for the cabin windows.
It's really tight. We got about a foot per side.
Wayne and Sean's precious cabin has survived a treacherous trek across ice, up hills, and through a blinding blizzard. The finish line is nearly within reach. Move day 2 in Saskatchewan. The snowstorm has passed and the crew haul the house back onto the road. But they're not out of the woods yet. The road down to Sean and Wayne's ski resort is hemmed in with trees.
It's really tight. We got about a foot per side.
The branches could smash the cabin's windows.
And we got to stop. Some trees in the way we're going to have to remove.
There's a few there.
Yeah, there's several up there, a bunch up here.
So brothers Sean and Wayne race to the rescue.
Gotta widen this out, clear all the snow, drop all the trees.
Felling trees so close to the house is risky, but this final obstacle isn't gonna hold up their father's cabin.
Right behind us is the corner, so we're only 300 yards from our getting out of the woods here.
Don't lose your nerve now, Jim. The cabin's new home is just around the corner.
A bit of a drop, like in the center, as you come off the road shoulder,
Okay.
and into that pasture.
After hours on icy roads, the cabin finally arrives at Sean and Wayne's ski resort.
That's it.
They did awesome. Helped us out in every challenge. I mean, a lot of trees to cut. Everybody plugged away and we got it done. It was a great team. A great effort.
It's a huge relief. I think once the ice road was behind us, that was probably the biggest question mark. No, Newfeld's have done a good job. No, first class.
Four months after the move, the brothers have wasted no time in completely renovating the cabin.
We're absolutely ecstatic with the way the whole project came together.
With the cabin sat firmly on the new foundations, they've given the house a beautiful makeover from top to bottom. Thanks to the move team, the family can enjoy their father's legacy all year round for many generations to come.
He was always up for a challenge, so I'm sure he's still looking down on us, and I'm sure he's got a big smile on his face.
It feels good that it came together and it's still in the family, and it's going to be here for many years to come, so it's great.
Ursula and Lorne are desperate to move this historic train station and convert it into their dream home.
It's scaring me. I'm wondering whether this train station will be moved.
Will the station and crew survive a treacherous trek across flooded fields? Under high voltage power lines? And over muddy meadows? Hauling this fragile station will be nothing short of one massive move.
Warman, Saskatchewan, an idyllic place of unspoilt natural beauty. These lush surroundings attracted Ursula Stroutman and her partner Lorne to move here in 1991. Originally, they could only afford a cozy little family house in town.
We've been living here for about 20 years. This is our home, and basically I raised my children here.
But now that their children have flown the nest, Ursula has big plans for a countryside plot near Warman.
We have a beautiful piece of property just outside of Saskatchewan that we've never been able to enjoy.
She's found an extraordinary building with as much character as her stunning land. It's a century-old historic railway station. The only problem, somehow she's got to move it all the way from Asquith to the plot.
Well, here we are. We had a train station in that little small town that I grew up in. It wasn't the Grand Trunk line, it was a different line. They looked a little bit similar.
Kinley Station was built in 1908 as a key stop on the Grand Trunk Pacific Railway. 100 years ago, its ticket offices and waiting rooms would have been buzzing with passengers and railway staff. The building's rich history, spacious rooms, and period features could make it the ideal home for Ursula and Lorne's stunning site. But it's very much a diamond in the rough.
Walls have to be redone. Everything has to be redone. There's an awful lot of work involved. It's like a shell right now.
Buying the station will set Ursula and Lorne back $35,000. Moving it to the plot and laying foundations, another $75,000. Renovation, $150,000. Bringing the grand total for this ambitious project to $260,000. And it weighs 100 tons. It's the rainy season and it has a long way to go. The station needs hauling over 50 miles from rural Asquith to Warman. A huge obstacle lies between the two sites. The city of Saskatoon, a sprawl of roads and railways. It's impossible to squeeze this station through the narrow and chaotic streets. So Ursula will bring in Canada's super heavy hauler, Carey Neufeld. After a quick inspection, it's pretty clear he'll have to go the long way round. Over back roads, fields, and dirt tracks. Even for him, it's gonna be a unique challenge.
This is a really neat job for us. We've never moved a railway station. There's a lot of things in a railway station that we haven't seen, and that's this type of structure, so we're just excited about the challenge of moving the railway station.
First job, and the first problem. To lift the mighty station off its ancient foundations, or what's left of them. Above ground, Ursula's station is in good condition, but the bottoms of the walls are extremely fragile and have already started to disintegrate. To strengthen the station's fragile frame, the team must build a rig of steel beams to cradle the structure. This hopefully will stop their dream home from breaking up during the journey.
The danger with the foundation collapsing, as you can see, both sides of the entire length of the freight room, the exterior foundation has collapsed.
While the team reinforced the foundation, Carey makes another alarming discovery. It's only day one, and there's a second problem.
They've removed a wall here. You can see where the walls used to be on the floor here. With this wall gone, there's nothing really holding the walls from going back and forth.
To make more space inside the station, a load-bearing wall was removed 35 years ago. This makes the structure even more delicate. The slightest jolt when it's lifted up could cause it to collapse.
That it's crucial that we replace this wall with a temporary wall.
So Carey's team will brace the walls, ceiling, and floor with wooden beams. Just as they seem to be making progress, a storm threatens to flood the site.
It's terrible. It's scaring me. I'm wondering whether or not this train station will be moved, and it's making me very nervous.
Coming up, can the team lift Ursula's dream home out of the mud and haul it cross country? After being beaten back by the storm, the team raced to move the station today. Fortunately, the weather seems to be holding. Ursula and Lorne arrived just in time to see their fragile station being wrenched off its old footings, hopefully without a hitch.
I've never seen a building lifted before, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this.
Let's roll.
The building begins to creak.
Half inch, an inch.
Oh my, look at that. Those little jacks are actually moving this entire building. This is amazing.
But the steelwork holds the brittle walls steady for now.
We're good to go here.
They slide the station onto the wheels, and finally, Ursula's station is ready to depart. Yesterday's storm has turned the field into a quagmire. The station might not be going anywhere, but down. Ursula and Lorne are very worried.
This is going to be 40 feet wide, and these roads are only 20 feet wide. And the ditches are filled with water, so there's an issue. That could cause a problem.
What's that?
Ben calls in a tractor for extra pulling power.
And then
He's gonna need all the help he can get.
at the moment we're just putting on the tractor here just as a precaution. The wheels could possibly sink a few more inches, so this will just help the load keep moving along.
Now, the moment of truth.
Let's give her. You don't want to hold them back, so you might have to.
The colossal power of the tractor slowly edges the station forward. But they still have to squeeze through a forest that's blocking its way.
This is a mover's best friend.
But it's nothing Ben's trusty chainsaw can't handle.
I think it'll fit this time.
The driver edges over the bumpy field with trepidation. A sudden jolt can twist and crack its fragile walls. It's been a rough old start to this station, and there's still a 50-mile obstacle course to go. Meanwhile, Lorne travels ahead to inspect the new foundations.
None of this water was here yesterday, so I'm assuming it's really bad down there.
It's not a pretty sight. Exposed to the elements, they're flooded with rainwater. No place for an old building.
It doesn't look very good. We got an indoor swimming pool.
Lorne sets up a pump and generator to remove the floodwater. He must do it before the station arrives.
You know, we don't get that much rain. You know, we're getting more rain than like Vancouver, London, you know. That's not the way it's supposed to be.
As Lorne starts to make some headway, rain still threatens. Back on the road, the move team come head-to-head with their first major obstacle.
We're just coming up to a power line here, so it looks like they're going to be lifting it. And yeah, so I'll be slowing down and wait for the signal.
There are 15 major power lines on the 50-mile route to Warren. Each line feeds electricity to hundreds of homes in the surrounding towns. The lines are so low that the station's roof could easily catch on them. And a collision with one of these 25,000-volt cables could spell doom for Ursula's dream home. So Carrie must work with electricians to lift each line 3 feet above the station, giving them just enough room to squeeze underneath safely. Carrie's crew wait while electricians lift each wire up with an insulated pole. The team cautiously approach the first high-voltage line. An inch in the wrong direction, and lives could be lost.
208.
One down, 14 to go.
That's our first power line of the day. There's many more to go.
Coming up, can the movers guide Ursula's dream home across a busy railway line without being smashed by a high-speed freight train? Having successfully guided Ursula's new home under a series of high-voltage power lines, the team have a deadline on their hands. And they may not make it.
A few miles ahead of the convoy lies a busy railroad crossing. They've been given a tight window to cross the tracks in, but they might not make it.
We're kind of in a little bit of a rush here. We got about 2 miles to go to the railway tracks. It's 11:15, and at 11:45 our permit expires to cross those railway tracks. We'll keep our fingers crossed that we make it there in time.
If the team missed their slot, it could derail the whole project. Ben puts his foot down. He must drive carefully. Floods have ravaged the area, and water is encroaching on the already narrow roads. If he careers off course, Ursula's dream home could make a splash landing. The station arrives in the nick of time. But it's not over yet, as Ben must carefully negotiate the uneven tracks, making sure the station doesn't tip. They make it in one piece. After surviving power lines, floods, and busy railway tracks, the station finally arrives at Ursula and Lauren's site.
Seeing that station come over the hill on the grid road was really spectacular.
But now it faces a very sticky problem. The new site sits on a floodplain by the South Saskatchewan River. It's now the wet season, and the ground is extremely muddy. There's a risk the 100-ton station could get trapped in the quagmire, and they'd have to wait until summer to rescue it. To avoid getting bogged down, Kerry must build a temporary path across the mud with 10 truckloads of gravel. He's gambling on the road being strong enough to support Ursula's dream home as the crew guide it to its new foundation.
You know, obviously moving a building with this kind of weight over something that's not even a real road. I mean, this is just 2 tracks that people come down to off-road with their vehicles.
The team compacts the gravel with a bulldozer. Any holes or gaps and the station could sink. It's already too late.
Our truck is partially sunk, but we're gonna give it a try.
But 10 trucks of gravel is still not enough to stop the 100-ton load from sinking.
Pull them through.
They need more pulling power, and fast, to get it back on track.
I'll let the rip fly.
The foundations are just 65 feet away, but in this mud, it might as well be Texas. Finally, they escape the mud and drag the station toward its final destination.
We got her. We're parked beside the basement.
It's time to celebrate because we've made it. We've succeeded.
Not just yet, Ursula. The station has yet to slide onto its new footings. The mover's final challenge.
Like I say, nothing bad can happen now unless the foundation slowly sinks into the sand.
And that's a real possibility. Settling the station on its new footings will be a challenge. If the wooden walls aren't lined up precisely with the concrete foundation, they'll warp and lose their strength. For a perfect touchdown, the team will slide 2 long steel beams under the station and then roll it into place on giant roller skates. They'll measure the station every few feet to check it rolls on course. The station is precariously balanced, 15 feet in the air.
I've never seen anything like this in my entire life.
Let's roll.
One slip now, and Ursula's dream home could come crashing down around her feet.
Coming up, with Ursula's dream home hanging in the balance.
Oh, just a second, that one is twisting.
One tug in the wrong direction could spell disaster. Ursula's dream home has survived a treacherous trek over floodplains, under high-voltage power lines, and across busy train tracks.
But the movers now face one last hurdle. They must position the building millimeter perfect onto its new foundations or risk a collapse.
How much is your plate overhanging that roll beam? That's to the inside of your plate?
And it just slides. It's like kids skateboarding.
Yeah, it's like skateboarding.
I haven't seen inside.
Something catches Ursula's eye.
I'm really looking forward to
Oh, just a second, that one is twisting.
There seems to be a problem with the rollers.
How come it's twisting? Okay, that's kind of freaking me out a little bit.
There's too much weight on the rollers.
The station's huge weight has brought the slide to a halt. The clock is ticking. The longer they're held up, the greater the chance of the foundations caving in. The crew quickly position more rollers to help take the strain with brute force. And it's not long before they're back on track. After a fraught afternoon for Ursula and Lauren, the old station finally pulls in.
I'm feeling really excited about this now.
Two months after the station arrived, Lauren and Ursula are hard at work, transforming it into a luxury home.
Lauren is the project manager, and I'm just the watcher. And I like bossing him around.
This is not a small project, but they'll have the views they've always dreamed of.
The restoration is going to take about 2 years, but at the end of it, it'll be totally worth it living out here.
When complete, she hopes to have a beautiful living and dining area upstairs, 2 spacious bedrooms, and an expansive garden with its very own river.
I think this is a dream come true. What about you?
Yeah, well, we're beginning to more and more appreciate the fact that living out here is going to be very nice.
I agree.
Thanks to the MOVE team's efforts, this station is now on track to becoming their dream home.
A big family, desperate for a bigger home.
The house is not in that great a shape.
Can they haul their dream mansion 100 miles across the Pacific Ocean?
I don't want to go that way.
Without it sinking into the abyss? Hauling this mammoth mansion will be nothing short of one massive move.
Souk, Vancouver Island, a tranquil town with stunning views of the Olympic mountain range, perfect for all the family. Grandparents Red and Barb Ruther moved to their lakeside lot in 2009. They love having their whole brood over to stay.
The kids love it here, and they just really enjoy coming out to spend time with Nana and Papa, and I want them to keep that.
But as their grandchildren grow, their cozy house can't do the same.
House is small. It's only 960 square feet.
The house is not in that great a shape, but it's the property that's absolutely wonderful.
Red and Barb don't want to leave their picturesque plot, but they can't afford to build a larger replacement home from scratch. So they decide to have a second-hand house moved to their existing property. And boy, do they find a place. A huge 70-foot-long luxury home in West Vancouver that was destined for the wrecking ball. It comes full of modern fittings, spacious bedrooms, and enormous floor-to-ceiling windows that make the most of any ocean view.
My first impression of the house is I just think it's fantastic. It's got way more space, I think, than we actually need, but I've got a big family.
Buying the house will set Red and Barb back $35,000. Moving it to their lakeside plot and laying foundations, $75,000. Renovation, $150,000, bringing the grand total for this daring project to nearly $260,000. But that's still half the price of building a brand new home this size. To reach Red and Barb's cherished lakeside lot, the house needs hauling over 100 miles from Cypress in West Vancouver to Sook on Vancouver Island. This is a long trek for such a large building. And on the West Coast, there's only one mover you can turn to. Heavy hauler Ron Nickel of the Nickel Brothers.
Most houses are not designed to be moved at all. Some take longer, some are more expensive to move. We've got to try and find ways that we can make it work.
But moving this house will test Ron's mettle. He wants to drive it to the new site by road. But the building is too wide to pass through these narrow streets. Ron's route needs a rethink. The only way he can move this house to Sook is to take advantage of the province's waterways and sail it on an epic sea journey. This is extremely risky. Although the house sits on the shoreline, not only does Ron have to figure out a way of lifting it onto an ocean-going barge, but ensuring he avoids running into ships and rogue waves en route.
Our tide situation is critical. We have to be able to have enough water to bring our barge in close enough. Also, is very critical that we have a high tide there.
Day one. As Ron's crew get ready to lift the house off its footings, he discovers that the structure's best feature is its weakest.
Worst case scenario is that the building would flex on this end and the windows would crack and break and we'd have all sorts of damage.
To enjoy the beautiful sea views, the house has huge windows, but they're very heavy. If the lighter timber frame of the house twists out of shape as they lift it, it could cause the hefty window frames to fall out, smashing the glass and causing the walls to collapse. To strengthen the house, the team must reinforce the windows with temporary wooden support walls. This should make the structure solid and able to take the stress of being lifted up.
The key point for all of this is that when we first start to jack, that's when we're going to find out whether the walls that we put in there are going to work.
The crew need to build a steel rig under the house to support its walls as they lift it up. But it won't be easy.
This is a very critical time in the whole procedure because once the building is free of the foundation and up, this is the time that we're looking at to see how the building is reacting to the change of bearing points.
This plot is crammed. The neighbors won't be too happy if one of these beams takes out their windows or gate posts.
Look! No! We gotta get back to 10.
Is there a great big mechanical machine that raises it?
This house is so heavy, Ron needs more than 20 hydraulic jacks to prise it off its foundations.
Anybody see any problems yet?
Spotters make sure the house remains level. If it leans, it could topple onto the homes next door.
Up about a half inch in the garage.
And there's liftoff.
I'm surprised that all the glass is in place. It is worrying to see it so high up in the air because, I don't know, you just think it's more susceptible to the elements and just makes you worry about how it will arrive at our end.
Red and Barb's new home is so big, it needs 32 wheels to make it mobile.
I find it really nerve-wracking. I mean, gee whiz, that's a big house to lift. It's got a long journey ahead of it.
With the house ready to roll, Ron's team now face their biggest challenge. Load the house and take it out to sea. Coming up, can the crew guide this extra wide load across an extremely narrow ramp?
We could get grounded out there and then we'd be in serious troubles.
While racing against a fast-moving tide? In Vancouver, Red and Barb's dream home has been braced and lifted for its ocean crossing. Now the team are at the mercy of Mother Nature. This house is so heavy, Ron needs as much water in the bay as possible to load it onto the barge, or it could get stranded on the shore. Today at 9:30 p.m. is the only time the tide will be high enough to load for 4 weeks. It's a critical deadline. And at peak tide, the team will have a razor-thin window of just 60 minutes to load before the tide goes out. A delay could spell doom. They need a meticulously timed plan to get the barge in, lay down ramps, load, and set sail.
The barge should come in pretty close to where the water line is there now, and then our ramps will span the rest of it coming this way.
5 p.m. The team race to make a level path across the shore. In the nick of time, the barge appears.
Said our barge is out there.
But it's heading to the wrong house.
Your guy is here. I can see the ramps and the crane and that, but he's too far towards North Vancouver along Marine Drive.
This is Ron's worst nightmare. The barge is 5 miles up the coast. By the time it reaches them, their 60-minute window for loading will be even tighter.
Once the tide starts dropping, then very quickly we could get grounded out there and then we'd be in serious troubles. This particular job is a little bit more difficult than our normal loading procedure because of the fact that we had so little room to work.
Ron's team must now battle with a retreating tide. As the water goes out, it will pull the barge out to sea. The ramps will give way, spelling doom for the house. The team need to tether the barge to the land with 2 big trucks. But on this lot, there's no room for them to get to the shoreline. So they have to improvise, lashing the barge to an excavator and a giant concrete block. In the hope that even with the strong tides, the barge holds fast.
Without being able to hold the barge in position, it would not be a safe process or procedure at all, and something I would not want to attempt.
The excavator tries to maneuver the concrete block down the side of the house to reach the water's edge.
Straighten out even a little more.
But it's a tight squeeze.
This thing weighs almost 6,000 pounds. We'll be able to hook the barge right up to this right here. This will hold it in on one side, and that machine will hold it in on the other side.
At 7 p.m., the barge finally arrives. They anchor it to the shore and bridge the gap between land and sea with ramps.
Yep.
They must be level, or the house could tip. It's an anxious moment for Red and Barb.
It's on top of the truck and going on to the ramp. I don't know about this.
I'll be way less nervous when they have it on our property. Anything can happen, you know. You never know.
Back off some more.
Back up, back up.
There's just inches between the truck wheels and the ramp edge.
Yeah, that's good, just like that.
One slip now, and this house will be going for a swim. With just 20 minutes to go before the tide goes out, Murray's stressed.
Yeah, on barge days, you're always a little bit more on edge.
I don't want to go that way.
Yep, we're on. That's the worst of the pressure as far as the climb goes.
The house makes it onto the barge as night falls.
The rest should be easy.
But hauling this precious load through sea traffic at night will make the next stage of this move even more treacherous.
Yeah, it seems we always seem to be cutting at 5, so it's always a race.
Coming up, will the house make it to Red and Barb's land without rogue waves sweeping it out to sea? In Vancouver, Red and Barb's dream home only just made it onto the barge in time.
It's a bit scary if you're not used to it. Yeah, it's really impressive though.
Now the team face an even trickier task, sailing it up the Pacific Ocean.
It's really intimidating. We're hoping for no wind at all.
7 a.m. The house has been traveling for 5 hours. The currents here are strong, and the house is completely exposed. A gust of wind or a rogue wave could mean a splash landing for this house.
And we're going to have the wind pushing against the barge. Over.
Tug Captain Willis Rook is also nervous about docking at the new site.
The tide is very important, not just for us to get in with our boat, but to get the barge close enough to the beach so they can get their ramps on, get the house off. That's kind of tricky because it is very shallow.
Homeowner Barb is even more anxious.
Worst case scenario for me is if the house doesn't arrive in good condition or doesn't arrive at all. And it would be all for nothing if the house drops off into the ocean because of some rogue wave.
At Red and Barb's shoreline lot, Ron Nichols' brother Alan gets ready for the barge's arrival.
So because this is where I need to get to with this second staging, right? Is right here. Because the barge, I think it's going to come in right there, right?
But a major complication might stop the barge from docking here.
The water doesn't come up to the shore, to where we can unload the house. So we need to bridge out to get close enough to the barge.
Red and Barb's lot sits at the far end of Sook Bay. The water here is only a few feet deep. Even with the highest tide, the barge cannot get closer to the shore. The movers need to build a long, level path to the shoreline with 3 sets of ramps. But there's nothing to support them in the water. So they'll have to balance them on towers made from wooden blocks. They're gambling that this makeshift bridge will be sturdy enough not to get washed away by the tide and support the heavy house. High tide peaks here at 4:45 p.m. They have 1 hour to assemble the timber bridge before the tide comes in. Hopefully, it will hold together under the tremendous weight of the load. Barb has her fingers crossed that the barge will make high tide in time.
The barge isn't here yet. We're a bit concerned because they only have a small window of opportunity. The tide waits for no person, so, and no house.
Finally, in the distance, it sails into sight. Barb's dream house.
We got lines ready right here.
Rope go too.
If we're ready to receive your rope.
Amazing how they're actually making the connection between the land and the sea.
The team now face a precarious balancing act, guiding this house over the narrow bridge onto dry land.
I can't believe that they're going to be able to drive the car off, but they know what they're doing, so anyway, it's going to be exciting.
Coming up, will this hefty house prove too heavy for the brittle bridge?
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Don't roll, just go out.
In Vancouver, Red and Barb's spacious new home has survived being jacked up, rolled out, and a perilous ocean odyssey. But now the team face their most dangerous obstacle yet, a narrow, brittle bridge across water.
Okay, going ahead right now.
It's only a few feet away from the finish line. But the risks are far from over.
Easy, whoa, hold it, whoa.
A chain stops the house from running away as it rolls down the ramp.
Easy, easy, easy does it now. Easy.
Teetering halfway across, the unthinkable happens.
Whoa!
The chain snaps.
Hold it. There seemed to be a bit of a rut in the barge. That rut put a little extra pressure on that chain, and consequently that chain broke. Ready for a head, Brandon? Okay.
Any delay now, and the tide could go out, grounding the barge. So they attach a spare chain to quickly roll down the ramp. Finally, they reach dry land.
On the ground! Yay, look at that! Oh my gosh!
It was a heavy building coming down the ramps there, so to bring it down as slowly as we could.
Incredible feat that they can actually do this. You know, it's incredible engineering feat.
It's awesome to have it on terra firma. Friggin' awesome.
Barb's spacious new family home finally arrives. Four months later, and work is already underway. As well as keeping their old bungalow, they'll soon have a 3-story home with luxury finishes. But it'll be a while before Red and Barb can finally move in.
There's some major things that are left to be done. There's the windows, and they're pouring the floor early next week for the basement. I think we'll be pretty much tied up in 1 more month. What about you, Red?
I think you're optimistic. I think we'll be lucky if we move in by Christmas.
No. I'm moving in before then.
Once complete, their new dream home will boast the best views in Sook.
The view from the house is amazing. When we lived in the little house, it was ground level view. The new house, it's just every level you go up, the view becomes more expansive, and it's just fantastic.
something the whole family can enjoy for generations to come.
I think I heard, hey, big guy! Do you like Nana's new house? I thought about my grandkids, and they're just happy as gold to go into the new house. So you have to grease this, okay? So you do that, and you can make the first cookies in Nana and Papa's new home. Oh, there we go. You put it somewhere, okay?
Thanks to the move team's skill and determination, Red and Barb now have their very own Pacific Palace.
If houses have souls, I think its soul will be happy here.
Hit by a natural disaster.
It was very devastating. It's very shocking to lose a house.
Can their luxurious new home survive a perilous journey across land?
It still gets very, very intimidating.
And through busy waterways?
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Hauling this harbor house will be nothing short of one massive move. The city of Vancouver, a sprawling coastal metropolis. Doug McClelland and Tony Tucker have lived here since 1987, but not on land. They were the proud owners of a custom-built floating home in Cole Harbour and would never consider swapping it for the life of a landlubber.
It's a great lifestyle. It's amazing. We're right downtown in the middle of Vancouver, and when you come home at night, it's like living in the country.
But while away on a Christmas vacation in 2009, disaster struck.
There was a monumental amount of snow. It shut the whole city down. And so much snow built up on our roof that it got top heavy. And eventually it tipped over on its side and it crashed down on top of a sailboat that was sitting beside it.
It was very devastating. It's very shocking to lose a house.
With their worldly possessions submerged, Doug and Tony were left to pick up the pieces.
I don't think either of us considered for a moment that we would do anything else except to rebuild.
And rebuild they did. Doug and Tony's new aquatic mansion will be even bigger and more luxurious than their old home.
See, it's still a bit of a construction site.
It will have a fitted kitchen, an office, 2 bathrooms, and huge floor-to-ceiling windows.
So this will be the back of the house. It faces out onto the open water. You'll see the mountains, you'll see the boats. It'll just be a spectacular view.
But first you have to get it to your marina, Doug, and it can't be moved over land. Doug and Tony's house is being built in a special boatyard on the Great Fraser River. When completed, it needs to be moved 35 miles to reach their mooring in Cole Harbour Quay in Vancouver. While their house is designed to float, no one knows if it will survive being towed on an extremely hazardous journey down one of the busiest and most turbulent waterways in the world. To add more pressure, construction and harbor mooring costs are racking up.
We're pouring so much money down the drain, and so we need to get into this location and get back to a normal sort of person's life of paying only one rent.
Building the house will set Doug and Tony back $250,000. Moving it and the moorings a further $75,000, bringing the grand total of this daring project to $325,000.
Visa, MasterCard, American Express, they'll love me. I just hope I can pay it off in the end.
To make sure it's money well spent, Doug has hired one of the world's top naval architects to design their house. Alfonso Sotres has built oil rigs and ships, but a floating home throws up a whole new set of challenges.
This particular one, slightly floating, is going to be quite interesting. We'll have to counterbalance it quite carefully.
To make the floating foundations for the house, the crew has encased giant blocks of styrofoam with waterproof concrete. Pretty much nothing can sink them. But things aren't that simple for Doug and Tony's new house. It's so tall, it's top-heavy. So Alfonso has made the foundations much heavier and deeper to lower the building's center of gravity. The extra concrete should keep the house rock steady. After months of intensive construction, the crew must weigh the house to check it sits level in the water.
We're going to measure the weight of the house and the location of the center of gravity.
The house has been designed with a beautiful viewing deck, but there's a complication. It makes the back end lighter than the front. One strong wave, and this house could end up like the Titanic. So the team must lift the house onto special jacks to work out how its weight is distributed. They can then balance the house out by moving furniture inside. They can add extra ballast where it's most needed. The crew will lift the house onto jacks with a special crane, usually used to raise ships.
I have never seen a house lifted by a big boat lifter before, so I'm sort of paranoid that the house is so heavy. Sounds sort of dangerous to me.
With the lifting straps under Doug and Tony's $325,000 investment, crane operator Ken can prepare for liftoff.
It still gets very, very intimidating. When you pull back on the controls, you see the house has gone past you and the hull's coming up and you're looking, you're going, oh boy.
The bravest member of the crew has to reach under to position the jacks.
We can get you to just slowly go down on ones and twos and take the tension off of them.
Now, the moment of truth.
This is our measured, and it comes, I would say, pretty close.
You had me scared for a minute.
Their calculations were perfect. With additional ballast, the house will balance evenly. The next test, will it float? They'll find out soon enough.
Everything seems to be coming together, but I can't help but be impatient because we really want to get it all finished and moved.
Coming up, can the crew launch the 110-ton house into the water?
The marine engineer hasn't got it floating right, and I want my money back.
Without it capsizing? In Vancouver, Doug and Tony's new look floating home is finally ready to launch. Today, the team must carefully lower the 110-ton luxurious home into the fast-flowing and unpredictable Fraser River.
Somehow, the situation lends itself to getting more and more nervous.
Homeowners Doug and Tony have come to the shipyard to watch. They're anxious.
The most challenging and most nerve-wracking part of the whole thing is the move. We have no control there, really. I mean, once it sets sail, we just have to cross our fingers and hope that it arrives at its destination safely.
To launch boats, the yard has an enormous mobile crane, but it's not built to lift large homes. Its awkward shape could cause the house to swing out of control. To stabilize the house, crane operator Ken must add more lifting straps. It's vital Ken raises the house slowly to keep it level and stop it from swaying.
This is more like a security blanket for me because I don't want anything to go haywire on us. Anything can go wrong. I mean, there's always a possibility of a strap breaking.
Ken keeps a close eye on the house as he lines it up with the water's edge.
One wrong tug of the joystick now, and this home could end up with a view of the riverbed.
Certainly paid all the engineers and architects enough. If the marine engineer hasn't got it floating right, I want my money back.
That's getting pretty close to 6 inches.
Ken slowly lines the house up over the water. And touchdown.
Well, I'm quite happy to see that's floating very level. That was the biggest concern.
With the home floating nicely, the team prepare it for the biggest, wettest trip it'll ever make.
Could be a happy ending tomorrow.
Happy ending. Long last, my God, wouldn't it be wonderful?
And the man chosen to guide it to Doug and Tony's mooring is Tug Captain Ryan Hansen. He's worried about today's conditions.
There was a bit of a swell coming across, but it's supposed to be dropping off. It wasn't supposed to be there in the first place, though. We'll see once we get out there. Okay, we're ready to go.
Ryan eases her out slowly as they embark on the most dangerous part of the whole move. The further down the river they travel, the tighter it becomes. Ryan must be extra careful steering the house past log booms strewn across the river.
Oh, the log booms closing in on this little section of the river here. So just have to make sure we got room to get past.
Thousands of logs line these banks. Every year, boats hit them, causing serious damage.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Don't roll, just go out.
There's a log boom right in the middle of the channel, and it was kind of closing in on the other, towards the other log booms, kind of getting sideways in the channel. So we only had a little skinny patch to get through. It's close, it was tight.
That was a close call. But Ryan has yet to hit the open ocean, where things can quickly take a turn for the worst.
The potential is for wind and roughness, and we don't have any control there. This is the dangerous part.
Coming up, will Doug and Tony's dream house make it through choppy waters? Or will it plunge to the depths? In Vancouver, Doug and Tony's new custom-built floating home is heading out to the open ocean. All of their savings have been poured into this project, and they're starting to feel the strain.
The whole process is a bit nerve-wracking. There's potential for anything to happen.
Tug Captain Ryan has safely guided the home through the riverways. Now he faces the dangers of the ocean.
On the whole coast, I've probably seen some of the biggest, roughest waves. And I've had water right over the whole boat.
The house is now heading north, up the Strait of Georgia. This is open ocean, and a westerly wind is picking up, causing a huge swell. Its full force is hitting the side of the house, pushing it off course and threatening to swamp it. To avoid the effects of the wind and the waves, Ryan must change course and sail into the swell. To get back to Vancouver, he'll have to tack backwards and forwards all the way up the strait. This course will take more time, but should keep the home's beautiful interiors intact.
This is going to be the most challenging part of the trip. We have to get around the corner with the swells that are out here from this morning. It's as rough as we want it.
If these waves get any bigger, they could breach the walls
and flood the house. Floating homes aren't built to withstand ferocious sea journeys and need protecting from rogue waves. So Ryan starts his zigzagging maneuver to beat the swell.
Made the turn now, so it should improve, but I don't like seeing the water getting down near the bottom there.
From here to Cole Harbor, Ryan needs to constantly monitor the conditions. If they get worse, he may have to turn back. And it isn't long before they find themselves up against yet another obstacle, a 364-foot high one.
It's a very, very tight shipping lane coming in under the Lionsgate Bridge. And so just a bit of nerves on those issues.
We have to trust in the tugboat captain's skills.
Ryan calls control to make sure he's safe to head under the bridge and into the path of fast-flowing currents.
Yeah, we're probably 10 minutes away from the bridge, just upstream here. We're staying on the north side of the channel.
The house is heading into the narrow confines near the Lionsgate Bridge, but the tide draining out of the inlet makes the currents here extremely choppy. Pick the wrong course now, and the currents could throw the house onto the rocky shoreline. So Ryan needs to speed ahead and plot a straight route. Once safely through the narrows, the tug must slow down so they have complete control of the house for the final stretch. It's a critical time for Doug and Tony's floating home.
All the water from Vancouver Harbor and Burrard Inlet has to drain in and out of there. The currents can run quite strong, so you have to be aware of what the current's doing.
Ryan needs to fight any oncoming currents to avoid being thrown onto the rocky banks or into the wake of oncoming tankers.
I don't want it any rougher.
The floating home makes it safely through the currents. Now, the end is in sight. Cole Harbor.
There's a whole bunch of very expensive boats all jammed in there. That's challenging too because you have very small, tight spaces. So that's going to require a lot of finesse.
Coming up, can Doug and Tony's floating home make it to its final mooring without colliding with yachts worth millions of dollars? Doug and Tony's luxurious aquatic mansion has survived a precarious lift, launch, and trek through treacherous waterways.
It's a long process with a lot of variables, but until the house is actually in the slot with all the ropes tied up to the dock, it's not a finished deal.
The team's final challenge is to guide her into the harbor without denting these million-dollar yachts. And to add to the pressure, the boat owners come out to watch the house arriving.
This huge yacht on the end here belongs to the owner of the marina, and so as long as we don't bump it.
Ryan leaves the tug to the second in command and jets off to scout out the harbor. Doug is there to greet him and point out the obstacles.
So we're going just on this side of the White House up here.
So the porch goes in,
No, the
porch is out here, so the head end goes in there.
Ryan sees that there are only millimeters to spare.
There's just so many other boats in there and everything's so tight. It can move pretty fast in the wind, and then if it bumps into a boat or a yacht or something.
It gets tense as Ryan and the marina crew try to steer the 110-ton home through the narrow waterway to its mooring. The maneuver is tight, but the home sails in without a scratch.
Good, everything looks perfect. We're there, it's tied up. Feels good.
It didn't sink. It got all the way across the bay down the river, and it's fabulous.
I feel pretty excited. It feels like the end of a long journey.
Finally, they can crack open the champagne to celebrate many more years living on the high seas. One month later, and Doug and Tony are already enjoying their new floating home.
It's a fabulous view.
With elegant furnishings and sumptuous sea views, they now have a home to turn their nautical neighbors green.
One of the great kind of fun things is we got to buy all new furniture, everything from art to dishes to blankets and towels. And so it's like a whole new home.
But there's still work to be done.
We're still working to get the house perfectly level, which it isn't quite yet. And there's a few other odds and ends to reach perfection.
Adding extra ballast to the front of the structure and rearranging some furniture should see it floating level in no time. It's only now that Doug and Tony fully appreciate all that they've been through.
We lost our home, we lost everything, and to come back and to get it back, what a joy.
It was an emotional experience because you start out with this tragedy and then you end up working your way through this process.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. With the help of so many people, we end up with a fabulous house that's the house of our dreams.
Thanks to the architects, crane operators, and tug crew, their floating house is now a harbor home.